now live playing Bloodbath by Riot.
More.
No, it's just Riot. Bloodbath is actually a solo.
Federal court has already reviewed elements of the committee's evidence on this.
Did you just say really, Caster? As if like...
No, I said oh.
No, you said really. 1 foot, did he say really? Oh, 1 foot?
Exactly. 1 foot, 1 foot's on my side. Okay, 1 foot, get a donut.
Yay.
Wait, can I have a bigger donut?
No.
Caster, you're like cool, and you never cut out.
If you beat Bloodbath in 10 minutes, I'll give you a donut.
Okay, what if I actually beat Bloodbath in 10 minutes, and then you can't give me a donut?
I'll, like, mail you a donut.
I doubt that. If I beat Bloodbath in 10 minutes, you owe me 1 foot.
What?
1 foot is taken aback by that. 1 foot became very confused. Somebody just said if I actually beat Bloodbath in 10 minutes, you owe me 1 foot. 1 foot's like, what?
You should have heard Wildred's reaction to me saying that school ends in June. He was like, wait, so your school ends in June?
On the UFO part, I just decided to, because I'm spamming question marks next to I decided to make a straight line with exclamation marks throughout the entire UFO.
You're gone.
Did you know that Bloodbath Geometry Dash is a level?
You will also hear testimony that President Trump rejected the advice of his campaign experts on election night, and instead followed the course.
I can't do this friggin' 10% thing with like the cube.
Sounds like a major skill issue, Caster. You should get that checked.
Wait, which part are you having trouble with?
The frickin', you know, in the after the Riggs monster thing where you teleport down with the cube and there's like a mini spike and there's like an H block that you hit. Yeah, I can't do it.
You just have to click really late.
That's not a problem with the level, Caster. That's just you not being able to do it.
Oh my god, I did it first try in practice. Cool. Great. Very good game.
Nerfed Riggs, which is just
This
great.
was, quote, complete nonsense, as Bill Barr said. President Trump's own campaign advisors, his Department of Justice...
You should make a level called Riggs, and it's just like Riggs, but like Riggs.
Here, for example, is White House lawyer Eric...
I swear to god, the way you say oh is just like, why?
Casper, I don't know why you find this so funny. Okay. I mean, when you get affiliate, that needs to be 100%. Just be sick.
Yeah, bro, I need to get like a good clip of it.
I can make that sound right.
Very powerful.
On January 2nd, the General Counsel
You have to give me a donut. Make this sound.
Matthew Morgan, this is the campaign's chief lawyer, summarized what the campaign had concluded weeks earlier.
What if
None
that
of
was
the
my death?
arguments about fraud or
Did you just say what if that was your death sound?
Yeah.
That would be really funny.
That would be really funny. Just take an audio recording of you just saying oh, and then just put that as your freaking death sound. That would be perfect. So instead of the frickin' novel boy thing, it's just you saying oh.
Apparently 1 foot like can't hear words in the Novel Boy death sound, even though like it's very clear there's words.
I actually can't.
As is obvious, this was before the attack on the
All I hear every time.
1 foot probably isn't as good as a player as Novel Boy.
fraud, irregularities, or anything to overturn the election.
Do you want to donate 1 foot to make you feel better?
What?
Okay, spawn a donut.
Where did donuts even come from?
Many are
Don't
serving
know.
criminal sentences.
They came from. They came from.
Or not like donuts as a thing. Not like donuts as a thing. I mean like our inside joke of like, here's a donut.
I think
Marched on the
it
Capitol at his request.
means that
And hundreds of them besieged and invaded the building at the heart of our constitutional republic. As one conservative editorial
Yeah,
board
what if you still haven't
put
given them the donut?
Mr.
Well,
Trump betrayed his
they ever
supporters
want
by conduct on January 6th, and he is still doing it.
I don't know. Donuts are kind of
Another
overrated.
conservative editorial board that
Also,
has
One Foot
supported
spells donut in like the weirdest way possible. He spells it like DOUGHGH, or like DOUGHNUT instead of DONUT.
Wait here. I need to see if there's any examples of it.
On Twitter, you ping Jeff Bezos and it says like
Can I spell like that on Twitter?
you
I've never said a donut like that in RPMs, but I might have said it on the Jeff Bezos ad.
yeah, you did.
Got 14 on rigs. Best player.
Caster, I got 100 on rigs.
Proof?
What do you mean proof?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
You got a chat from a first time viewer.
Who?
Without objection, Chair
One of my
recognizes Gentlewoman from
very,
California.
like, to a lot of
Lawson,
players.
one opening statement.
Why is that?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In our opening hearing, we gave
Gaming.
an overview of our investigation.
Why is that not
into
showing
January
up in
6th
the
attack.
chat?
The plot to overthrow the election was complex and had many
Because,
parts
chat is like, ratio.
But today, we
Yeah, watch
examined
them.
the false narrative that the 2020 election was, quote,
Who pinged me?
Former President
Oh,
Trump's
welcome to the
plan
chat.
overturn the election
UITS. I
sustained
don't
effort
know.
to deceive millions of Americans with knowingly false claims of election fraud. All elements of the plot rely on convincing his supporters about these false claims. Today, we'll demonstrate
Shit,
the
I
2020
died.
election was not stolen.
Damn.
The American people
I,
elected
One Foot, you did not die. You're not playing like
present
Bloodbath
evidence
or something.
that Mr. Trump's
Well, I
claims of
died.
election fraud were false, that he and his closest advisors knew those claims were false, but they continued to
What if
But is
two rigged?
Who's gonna be harder than rigs?
One Foot is 2 rig 2 gives the canon like death place of the Riggs monster. Well, yeah, but Riggs Lore didn't actually show us the location of where the Riggs monster died. So like, what if in 2 rig 2 Gs or 2 rig 2 Gs, it's just like there is a Riggs monster in the back, like the Riggs monster dying in the background at some point.
Keep in mind, the Riggs monster dying in the background is like getting hit with a fireball and then turning upside down. I guess the Riggs monster could turn upside down at some point. But then I'd also have to have the Riggs monster and fireball.
Wait, hang on, who killed the Riggs monster?
The Riogs monster caster. Not a true Riggs fan. Not a true Riggs fan.
I thought you were actually on podcast.
I did the entire freaking wave of Riggs and died at the, like, spam. I almost did the last wave to 100. This is a very sad moment.
Hey, what are your parents watching?
Mr. Trump decided
I don't know,
even
something
before
about
the
Trump.
election that regardless
Oh
of the
god,
fact
it's
that
so
he
freaking loud.
lost the
Yeah, I
election,
can hear it like
he would
very
claim
well.
it was rigged. Mr. Trump
You can
was
hear it
right.
as if it's like right beside you, not like 20
What are
feet
you
away from
talking
you.
about, caster?
It literally sounds as if like it's directly beside you, not like 20 feet away from you.
It's caster. I don't think you know how TVs work.
Ratio.
Can I send a quick challenge-less level I just finished? Sorry, but I'm not doing level requests.
It's not very nice.
More of a detailed
testimony from Attorney General Barr describing the various election fraud claims the Department of Justice investigated. He'll tell you how he told Mr. Trump
Me when I can't do the
There
last
was
wave
no
of
merit
bricks.
to those claims.
That sure
Mr.
seems like
Barr
the
will
kind of
tell
proof
us that
that
Mr.
Trump
Trump's
supported
election
parents
night
might
claims of
might
fraud
not be a
were made
Wait,
without
what?
regard to the
What did you
truth,
say?
and before it was even
Castro seems like
possible
the kind of person to have Trump supporting parents, but not be a Trump supporter.
Attorney General Barr wasn't alone. You'll see and
None of
hear
my
today
parents support
other
Trump.
Department of Justice officials and senior
One foot, do
advisors
you support Trump?
that they told
Yeah,
him
Castro.
the claims he was making were not supported.
What? I said 1 foot.
Election fraud
Oh, you
claims
said
were
Castro.
false.
No,
I said
freaking
what?
said 1 foot!
Okay, no, okay.
This is
okay.
actually a 1 foot
For
one.
pushing the false claims
No, it's a caster
and
moment.
urging his supporters to quote, fight like hell.
It is like a caster moment, but like I did ask 1 foot, so
After he
like
lost the election,
1 foot.
various
Stop dodging the
legal
question.
challenges were made.
I already said no.
Testimony
Oh.
today
Well,
will
caster,
be
are you a Trump?
election
Yeah,
litigation.
Castro.
No. Tubhead, are you a Trump supporter?
No.
by which candidates
You
challenge
did
the
support him.
election.
No, I said
Rather than accept
supporter.
the results
You
of
said
the election
supportal.
and the decision
I
Yeah,
of the
said
courts,
your portal doesn't
Mr.
count.
Trump
2.2.
pursued a different strategy. He tried to convince the American people
Nah,
the
new game
election
mode,
had
soup
been
portal.
stolen. Many of his supporters believed him. Many still believe
The portal will be called the soup portal, so the game
The
would
attack on
mode would be
January
called the
6th
soup
was a direct,
The game mode would be called
predictable
soup.
result of Mr.
Soup.
Trump's decision to use false claims.
What?
You enter the soup portal to become soup.
That's my favorite mode of
Mr.
travel.
Chairman, I yield back.
Caster, what would the soup game mode do?
I now welcome
Yeah.
our first
Uh,
witness.
It,
We're joined today
They
by
would
former
like stain the spikes and then like
What?
make them
Rick
disappear.
Skywalker.
why
His
would
stepson,
soup do that?
President campaign
It would stain the spikes?
this morning had
I think it would increase your icon's
Kevin
calorie
Marino,
intake and increase
Mr.
meaning that it
Stephan's
would
attorney,
increase
is here
the
with us
size of the
today.
box.
Wait, I'm clipping that. The soup would stain the spikes.
And make them disappear.
You can't stain something and make it
It is like a caster mode.
Well,
Had
we
to
should-
travel to be with his
One
wife,
Stop
and we
dodging
wish
the
him the
question.
best. Due to the depth and rigor of our investigation, through several hours of
You
Mr.
said
Stephan's
support.
testimony,
I could like stain you with like
interviewed him
the
in February, we
the
will be
Riggs monster.
presenting that testimony today.
Hold on, I'm turning
I'll
up.
now swear in our witness. The witness will please stand and raise his right hand.
The game mode would be called soup.
You swear or affirm under penalty of perjury.
The game mode would be called soup.
Wait, Caster, is that you?
What?
You enter the soup portal to become soup.
Let the record reflect the witness answered in the affirmative.
Caster, what would the soup game mode do?
I want to start by showing a video that tells the story. Today,
They would like stain the spikes and then like
What?
make them disappear.
in November of 2020.
It would stain the spikes?
I was at the White House.
You know where specifically over the course of that night you spent your time within the White House?
January 6th was a direct,
The game
There
mode would be called
was
soup.
an event that was organized in the residence
The game mode would be called soup.
Caster, did you know that you're like pretty damn rigs?
the residence.
Ratio.
It's true.
That's offensive.
Where some family members were.
I take it the president was upstairs in the residence.
He was upstairs. We were kind of on the first.
Caster, more like soup 4.
Mostly
Okay,
with
which
Ivanka and her brothers.
character would be your most one cameo into?
Describe the atmosphere, what were people expecting?
Me.
When you got to the White House.
Okay.
No, me.
I think that there was
1 foot, we all know that Caster has no opinion when it comes to geometry.
Okay, I'm gonna have,
more positive.
Kapanuki Caster.
Wait.
Well, Caster, you got your wish. You're in the 2 rig tubes.
I don't know where to put it, though.
Just like make that the end screen.
Right before the drop.
No, just make.
Right before the drop is you falling down, so it would have to be, like, really good. Actually, that might be the best way for it to though.
No, look,
Well, you
just
can have,
make
like,
the
a
end screen.
platform.
Just that.
Do what?
Just make that. Make the thing just the end screen.
I don't
Yes.
really want
The
to. It's not.
atmosphere, the attitude.
It'd be
You
like
should
fun.
you should build some 2 rig tubes.
Can you describe that?
That's what I'm doing.
Or are you?
I am.
This was an anger
Proof?
kind of directed towards Fox News for making it all more so than a disappointment that maybe the campaign lost Arizona. All the above. So both anger and disappointment.
Chrysanthemum GD monster.
Did you know that Caster's actually like rigs?
Do you know that Caster's like about to be in?
Half midnight into the early morning hours of November 4th.
Dude, why? I wanna punch Michigan. Well, not Michigan. I wanna punch Michigan's part.
You want to punch Michigan? I don't think you want to punch Michigan right now.
I wanna punch Michigan's part in Bloodbath.
I wanna punch you.
Caster! That is offensive.
Okay.
Caster, what is the meaning of K? Define K.
Okay.
Spelled for K.
What is the Oxford Dictionary definition of K?
The definition of K is K.
No, it's not.
Proof?
That's just not the definition of it, Caster.
Prove it.
The definition of the word is not its own word. Like, you wouldn't say the definition of, like, Among Us is, like, Among Us.
Or would I?
No.
Yeah, Castro seems like the person to say that.
Caster seems like the person to be
seems like the kind of
wrong.
person to say that. I seem like the kind of person to what?
Be wrong.
Okay, cool, but like Oscars?
Oh my god.
Tell me more about that. What the information about is potential intoxication during that discussion about what the president should say when he's addressed the nation in election.
Me when video games.
I'm gonna make Cafe become. I'm gonna make Cafe become bigger when the caster.
Yeah. Caster, you should beat Bloodbath.
But like, what if I don't want to be Bloodbath?
Well then, too bad.
I'm gonna play the long walk home.
I'm gonna play the
Like-
long walk to Caster's house with a knife.
Help, I'm being threatened.
No, you're not, Caster.
I'm being threatened.
Okay, fine. I won't play the long walk to Caster's house with a knife. I'll play the long walk to Onefoot's house with a knife.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that walk is a lot shorter. That's a lot shorter.
Okay, fine. I'll play the short walk to Onefoot's house with a donut.
Yes.
Wait, what? No, make the long walk to my house with the donut.
Okay, fine. I'll play the long walk to Caster's house with a knife.
I'll play the long walk to Cuphead's computer with a hammer.
Okay, I'll play the long walk to the courtroom to sue Caster.
I'll play the long walk to, like, the Race Monster's house to make them, like, die.
Why's my mouse sensitivity so low now? I don't know what happened, but sometimes my mouse sensitivity just turns like
I don't know
really
if
low.
I had from
Okay, fine. I'll play the long walk to Caster's phone with a screwdriver.
still being
I'll play the long walk to Cuphead's computer with a sledgehammer.
You do that. How is that gonna be any different than with a knife?
What? What do you mean, how is that
This
any
is a
different than
Caster
knife?
moment. This is a Caster moment.
No, this is a Onefoot moment.
how would walking to Calvinium's house with a knife or with a hammer be any different than walking to Calvinium's house with a sledgehammer?
I think we're in a good position.
Well, okay, a sledgehammer is bigger and causes more damage.
Well, not if the person carrying the sledgehammer is so weak that they can't lift it.
Yeah, Caster.
Bruh. Really? You gotta do me like that? Okay. Okay, I see how our friendship is.
Caster, your icons are like the type of people to like die.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country.
Okay.
We were getting
Did you say ratio?
Oh, I said okay.
No, you said ratio.
Okay, 1 foot, what did you hear?
I heard okay.
What?
Exactly! Exactly!
Okay, 1 foot's trolling. I guess in that case, I'll play the long walk to 1 foot's house with a bazooka.
I'll play the long walk to 1 foot's house with, like, death.
Because that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's the point.
Why is that the point?
My recommendation was to say that we're still being counted. It's too early to tell. Too early to call the race. But,
Did I just hear in the background someone calling someone rigged?
1 foot, did you see the video I sent you of the dog named Riggs?
I think we're in a
Wait, video? I don't know if I saw that.
what we're saying about this, the next whenever we
Ah!
Okay, Cuphead, you're forgetting how you found that out. Me.
Okay, and
Your ratio.
Caster, why do you even have dog grooming videos in your shorts right now?
I don't, they just popped up and I was like...
And then you watched like 10 seconds of it to hear the dog's name is Riggs?
Yeah. Okay, to be fair, my entire freaking thing isn't filled with those, okay? It isn't... God, I just don't want to die. You guys are like the definition of like death.
What is that?
So, in the 40 or 50 years, let's say, that Americans
One for just like watch the video.
finally out for for absentee, Democrats prefer that method of voting more than Republicans do. So basically, in every election, Republicans win election day, and Democrats win the early vote. Then you wait and start counting it.
One
This
foot,
is
should
why
I go
Caster
for
is
the...
Riggs.
One foot, should I go for the coin and the long walk home and risk dying at 99 again?
Yes.
One foot, what do you think?
Yes. 1 foot thinks yes.
I asked 1 foot.
Gunfoot.
Wait, here, 1 second, I'm clipping something.
Oh wait, no, I forgot his name's not 1 foot, it's Officer Gunfoot.
Did I just hear 1 foot literally die of like...
Wait, what did you say?
1 foot, I think 1 foot just like died of like... John Cena.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Or not, no, what's his name? Shit. It's like... Kanye... Or no, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
We knew it was going to be bigger because the percentage of early votes was higher, right? We went from about 45% of votes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a Cuphead moment.
No, what's a caster moment?
Ow! What?
Caster, do you think The Rock House is bad?
So this
No.
red rod-
Oh my god, Caster!
Why? Do you?
Yeah.
If you do think it is bad, you need to like die.
Bill Barr. also explains what's expected.
Caster, it's a
The
slaughterhouse.
only reason
remake.
okay, but like, it's like one of the like good ones.
No, it's not.
It's like the only good Slaughterhouse remake.
So you think it's... So you think the Rock House is good, but Cosmos and the Human Limit are bad. Which, I mean, they are,
Cosmos?
but you think the... Huh?
Cosmos is like meh, and like the Human Limit is like yeah.
So you think those are not as good as the Rock House? Oh my
Okay,
god.
take it like this, okay? You find a tiny little pebble. That is the Human Limit. You find a slightly larger pebble. That is Cosmos. And then you find a boulder. That is the Rock House.
What?
That is probably the weirdest analogy I've ever done.
Caster, what is that analogy supposed to mean?
Someone clip that.
Oh,
Okay,
back.
Caster, the Rock House is badly decorated house style. The Human Limit is goodly decorated house style, and Cosmos is goodly decorated non-house style. It's like space style.
It's like glow. Also, I'm at 40 on the long walk home.
Then walk faster!
Yeah, let me just turn on speed hacks real quick.
Someone should beat the long walk home at like 1.5 times speed and call it the long jog home.
And then someone should beat it at 2 times speed and call it the short run home.
Caster, it's still like 5 minutes at 2 times speed. Someone should beat it at like 8 times speed and call it the like average length level dead wind sprint home.
So let's watch a short clip of President Trump speaking after he received that information from his campaign advisors. We want all,
Is 1'4" deafened?
we don't want them to find any balance.
I think he's just dead.
Caster is a dog guru. What? Caster!
What? Hang on, wait, what did I just hear?
Caster. What? Caster. The clip is called "Caster is a dog groomer confirmed."
However, President Trump
No.
continuously discouraged mail-in voting. Mr. Stepien was so concerned about the
But the dog is in parentheses, so like
And in the summer of 2020,
Caster is a
President Trump,
groomer.
along with House Minority
No.
Kennedy Park,
That sounds very bad if you take it out of context.
I know. That's the point, Caster.
How did I fucking got 56? Alright, so you want someone to beat it at 1.2, right? Or 1.5?
1.5. How did you confuse 1.5 and 1.2?
Well, okay, I'm Caster.
Why did Caster say I'm Caster?
The only thing you hear. 1 foot, no context.
I clipped
Oh my god, that is
Find a pebble, and it's the Human Limit. You find a slightly bigger pebble, and it's Cosmos. You find a boulder, and it's the Rock.
That's to be one of the weirdest analogies I've ever made in my life.
Yeah, so why did you make it?
Because it's funny.
What?
I mean,
That's
it
why
made
you
you
made
two laugh, didn't it?
it? Yeah, but that wasn't the goal, right?
Yeah, it actually was.
No, it was not, Caster.
Providing reason for your opinions was just to be funny.
Yeah.
Caster, you're lying.
I might be, but I mean, actually,
why would you lie about that? That doesn't make sense.
Cuphead is actually dying. Cuphead is legitimately dead.
I might be lying, but Askers.
We were echoing the same argument. His words echoed mine and vice versa.
Dude, imagine you like murder someone and then you go to court and then they're like, okay, Castor, did you murder this person? And you're like, no. And they're like, well, you're lying. And then you said, well, I might be, but Askers?
Asker 14.
Sounds like something that one foot would do.
What? That's. Aster, do you sound like something I would do?
1 foot, 1
What? Out of context, once. Clip that.
I'm clipping
Don't
it.
clip that.
1 foot. What did you just say? Huh? That. You mind repeating that?
Aster, do you sound like something I would do?
Testing the quality of your poll in targeted precincts and in targeted places. Our poll in Arizona was beautiful, and it was doing just what we wanted it to do, and it was cooking up just right. And at some point, our decision exactly who, but at some point, it was
Aster,
clear that Arizona was getting ready to make a call. So we ran.
Aster, do you sound like something I would do?
We're not making any call until everybody. Because that was always our policy, unanimity. And you have to understand.
Aster, do you?
The best people from academia, Democrats, Republicans, a broad cross section.
No group chat.
And worked together for a decade.
This is the best clip.
So we knew it would be a consequential call because it was one of 5 states that really mattered, right?
This is actually a 1 foot moment.
I'm sending this to Wildred. Castor, that is like, or not Castor, 1 foot, that is like kind of suspicious, not gonna lie.
It really is. Cuphead, do you like memory levels?
Yeah.
Cuphead, try troll level.
No, I tried it and it's bad. Troll level is one of the rare examples of memory done wrong.
I think you're an example of memory done wrong.
What? Dude, that is the weirdest thing Castor has ever said.
Wait, I didn't hear what.
He said like, I don't know, he said like the Riggs monster is hot.
No.
Yukon would say.
Qcon would definitely say that.
He didn't actually say that though. I don't even remember what he said. He said something.
Said you're an example of memory gone wrong.
Oh.
Outside the margin of a recount. And when you think about that margin, you think about, in modern history, you're talking about 1,000 votes, 1,500 votes, that are way outside. Normally, you're talking about hundreds of votes, maybe 300 votes that are going to change. So, the idea that any local process, any of these things...
And have you seen Edge of Destiny?
I don't know. Isn't that in like an AP team level? It's probably bad.
No.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's the redecorated, I think it's a buffed version of Blade of Justice.
Oh, well, in that case, Castor.
I don't think Cuphead likes Blade of Justice.
I didn't. When did I say that? Name one time when I said that I didn't like Blade of Justice. Stop it.
Okay, this is an audio recording of Confidentium saying
Okay, we're not gonna. Nah.
I am Confident and I dislike Blade of Justice.
That's fabricated and photoshopped.
And yeah, whatever you say isn't. Oh my god, you were such a hypocrite.
I'm not a hypocrite, you're a hippo.
You're a hip.
What?
That made no sense. That made no sense.
You're a hip?
Yeah. That made no sense. I don't.
Okay, Caster, make me laugh or else I'm gonna deafen for like 5 seconds.
Briggs.
I asked Caster, not you.
Could be initiated based on, realistic legal challenges, not all the legal challenges that have been pursued.
Hang on, wait. I'm gonna watch this.
Casper's totally going to put something into the microphone, and try to make you laugh with it.
Okay, Caster failed to make me laugh, so I'm deafening for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I deafened for 5 seconds.
Missed you.
That includes Alex Cannon, who could not validate the claims that were being made, including those being made by the president.
Stop dying to Marwick!
What? What are you playing?
Bloodbath!
Marwick doesn't have a part in Bloodbath.
What do you mean Marwick oh my god.
You. This is
Caster,
actually
the
a couple
first
of
part in Bloodbath is
no.
Marwick's part.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. That's Wheel, you idiot.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm looking this up. Marwick's
I will literally
part
pull up the.
Bloodbath.
For this Arizona analysis. Sure. Previously, I described some of my frustration with
I will literally pull up the fucking GD wiki for Bloodbath.
President Trump regarding, need to look at this, this happened in this state, or that happened in that state, and it would be, those would flow to us to look into, right? And talk about
Shit.
that.
You're right.
This is an example.
For once.
I recall.
Wait, what happened?
0 to 9. Oh wait, 10 to 24. Shit, I was like wrong about what parts are what. Yeah, that's Crack. Asonic. Etzer. Havoc. Oh shit, Jiren has a part.
Someone had thrown out that claim to President Trump, and with the margins being as close as they were, as I previously described, that could potentially happen. So this wild.
Confident, you should like screen share you making 2 rig tubes.
And that would spoil it.
Shit, I like didn't realize what the parts in Bloodbath were.
To be fair, we've proven that you're like dumb, so.
Caster, I think you're dumber.
Well.
I blame Wildred because Wildred said that the first part was Marwick.
He became frustrated. And
I blame you. Because you believed him.
No, I blame you because you are Wildred.
Okay, but like Askers?
Okay, well, if you aren't Wildred, then riddle me this. Why have you and Wildred never been in the same room together?
Yeah.
Brody and Chris have with Justin Clark.
What did One Foot do?
That kind of
Look in the clips channel.
Oh yeah.
What did One Foot do?
Look in the clips channel in your server.
Which clips channel? Oh, that one.
Stepien became
Ah! Ah! 1 foot!
That is
Okay.
very, suspicious.
I think I'm gonna block 1 foot at this point.
No.
Can we like remove 1 foot server admin rank?
What?
I inherited the day I was hired was President Trump's point in 2020 daily average.
Dude, Wayo Tio or how whatever is garbage.
Wheel too.
Structurally and fiscally.
What?
What was that noise? It was like, oh you two.
I said
That's
wheel
just-
tio.
It's native language.
I said wheel tio.
No, you said you two.
No, I said wheel tio.
This is what you're gonna be talking about in the next like 10 minutes.
No, you're like you two.
Now, Mr. Stepien has been in the campaign field a long time.
1 foot, you have to
Let's
clip
watch this
it.
10. Let's watch this 10 out of 10 analogy clip.
Analogy.
About his concerns given the claims that Mr. Giuliani and Ms. Powell and their team were making publicly.
Okay, it was important for you, Mr. Stepien, to sort of pull back just for your own professional reputation. You didn't want to be associated with some of what you were hearing from the Giuliani team and others that sort of stepped in the wake of your
Oh
departure.
my god.
I didn't mind being categorized. They were two groups of them. We called them kind of my team and his team. I didn't mind being categorized as being part of Team One.
That was
As
fine.
the reporters, kind of started to do around that point in time. I said it was
Hard, kinda hard.
hours ago, early on. I've been doing this for a long time, 25 years, and I've spent
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you punch caster?
What?
professional, and I
Finally.
didn't think what was happening
Okay, but
was
like askers?
on this work. So that
Hey.
was a key step.
Prove it.
Can I punch caster?
So,
Yes.
the president did
Yes!
get the and I'd like to play a clip showing the president.
Anyone?
Yeah, I need to like start focusing because I have not been doing very good.
Man, I've worked for all different kinds of people, but this was like way off the map.
And I got a lag spike. Thank you, game.
Yeah, right.
Start position here, so I don't have to do that shit there. Okay, never mind, not a start position there. It's a terrible distance start position. Actually, wait, no.
But
this is
screen
second.
share or Rick? No, why not?
Because I don't want to spoil.
Just like yeah.
Doesn't help. Just like, yeah.
Someone pinged me. Officer Sussfoot. Officer Sussfoot.
Yeah.
One foot, you should just like rig it live. 1 foot. 1 foot. This is a one for a moment. Wait. One fight! Caster! I was deafened by accident.
Why is the go thing, like, not above your hand cam?
What do you mean? It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's literally not.
Prove it.
Confirm.
I'm not watching the stream. Here with me. Go.
Wait, One Foot, you're not lurking in the stream? How am I supposed to get affiliate?
Here's the
Yeah,
thing, you aren't.
Oh shit, I don't? Oh shit, I don't. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
It's a big win for Caster.
Yes.
Caster, say something that, like, isn't just completely false.
Possible challenge.
Black Wizard is a good level.
He, like, had to think for, like, 5 seconds there.
Nothing could come to mind.
Caster, you could literally say something like, the sky is blue.
I think
Yeah,
most
that's like too
Casters
basic.
every day are just complete lies.
Liar.
You also could have said something like 1 foot is cool.
Well, that would have been completely false.
No.
Yeah. Cuphead.
What?
Would me saying 1 foot is cool be false or true?
True.
Wait, what? No. No, that's like
What do you mean, no?
false rumors.
Caster, are you saying that, like, if 1 foot was at the edge of the cliff, edge of a cliff, you'd push him off?
Yeah, Caster.
How does that correlate to that?
But, yes or no, Caster?
No.
Then you think 1 foot's cool?
How does that correlate to that?
Because, like, you only push people off cliffs that you think aren't cool.
Okay, let me name all the people that I would push off a cliff. 1, Cuphead name.
What did I
You
do?
think Cuphead is cool?
Number 2 is 1 foot for being a suspect.
You just said you wouldn't push him off a cliff. Okay. I'm gonna beat the level this attempt. Shatter!
Damn it.
Did you say dysentery, damn it?
What? No. No.
Yeah.
I need water. Do I have any water in my water bottle? Where's my necklace?
You don't.
Yes, I do. I have water.
That's fake water, it's a mirage.
Mirage is in the Extreme Demon by Golden, verified by Technical.
No, mirage is in the water is fake. You're just seeing it because there's a mirage.
What if, like, mirages could happen inside of water bottles?
They probably could if you were like in a desert and the water bottle was far enough away from you.
Me when this is like a Cuphead moment.
People who are going to the into the desert should like get in a thermos so that they can stay cool for as long as possible.
Get in a thermos?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get in a thermos.
Kevin, have you ever not gotten into a thermos? Have you not ever gotten into a thermos?
Have you?
Obviously, I have.
Prove it.
You want me to send you a picture or something?
No, I want a video of you getting into a thermos.
A video?
Why am I so bad today? I don't like. I've just not been able to do anything today.
You and Cuphead is not capable of gaming. Cuphead, how many attempts do you have on Bloodbath?
2.
4.
6. 8.
Wait, why did I say 9?
11.
13.
14.
15.
No, you're supposed to say caster.
Yeah, Caster, you messed up.
Everyone knows that the numbers go 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14, caster.
Yeah. Caster was named after a number.
Okay, but like askers?
Your parents.
Ratio.
Hey Caster, I have an image of me in a thermos. Here. Send it to you. Or I'm gonna send it in the group chat.
Yeah, send it in the group chat. At 1 foot. Send or rig.
See? It's proof.
Honestly, 1 foot, I'm gonna be real with you.
What?
That looks more like caster in a thermos.
Also, by the way, I'm gonna send circle crops of all of our profile pictures just because, in case anyone needs them.
Send a circle crop of caster as a person.
Won't have that sadly.
You and 1 foot doesn't have,
I don't know why Caster's is so much smaller.
you know, why is my freaking
It represents the size of the brain.
Wait!
Wait, 1 foot's the same as mine. 1 foot's small. 1 foot's PFP is small, just like mine.
What caster did you just say?
I said 1 foot's PFP.
I think you missed the
is
F.
small.
I
No, no, I did not. Oh my god, I hate both of you. Alright, let me rephrase that. 1 foot's profile picture is small, meaning 1 foot is small brain.
Why does me 6 have the same brain size as Cuphead?
Because me 6 is like ratio, and Cuphead is ratio. I think you can kind of see how that works.
No.
No, the bigger the PFP, the less rigs.
Cool, but like askers?
Did you say call me askers?
No!
Okay, sure thing, askers.
No. No.
Askers 14.
Stop. Stop or I will like rig Geometry Dash.
Oh, very nice. No, I accidentally exited the level when I wanted to.
I think Geometry Dash is already rigged.
Gigs? Not gigs.
I don't know why, but the competitors like ratio.
I respectfully agree. I mean, I respectfully disagree.
I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that.
Just
No.
Cut it off when they say agree and don't say the don't have the part where they say.
No, don't do that, cyberbullying!
Yeah, Caster, that's cyberbullying.
Really, I'm clipping.
BRB, I'm clip.
Honestly, I might need to nerf this part.
I might need to nerf you as a person. I almost said you as a family.
Me as a family.
Did you know cast are more like rigs?
Yeah.
Dude, today is just not my day. I've just been not been able to do anything.
Well, you beat the anti-buggy like 8 times.
Well, yeah, but like after that.
Also, by the way, if you find any parts like that seem to be unbalanced or like just kind of unfair, or not like unfair in a more unfair than rigs normally is way, then feel free to nerf it because you're the verifier.
I'll be the 2rig2gs official balancer.
Balancer? Oh, balancer.
Bouncer.
Bowser.
Did you know that 2rig2gs is like the sequel to shit, what, Finger Dash? Or no, Rigs.
Finger dash.
I should make a level called Finger Dash 2 and it's just rigs.
Right if you want, I guess.
I can't wait until like 2028 when someone remakes rigs.
Yeah. In 2028, we'll be in, I think we'll be in 7.
I'm back.
Hello, Baxter.
No, wait.
What do you think is the best caster name?
Hackster 15 because it's the most accurate.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, hi flying. Welcome to the chat. Sorry if I didn't see your message earlier.
Because of the substantial uncertainty surrounding databases,
That Twitch channel.
unreliable way to identify ineligible voters.
I swear, I heard someone say rigs in the background of whatever your parents are watching a video. Actually, I do think there's. I'm pretty sure there's like a senator. His last name is Briggs, but not Riggs.
So, the president did get rid of Team Normal.
Did I hear someone say so Castor? Did you?
One foot, I have a strong feeling that you are just hearing things.
Castor, I have a strong feeling that you're like not real and you're just fake.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that
Every single one of them was provided, because they would be notified by Smartmatic in Frankfurt.
Castor, you just said I have a strong feeling that and then just didn't say anything.
How the hell were they supposed to made all
what do you mean? I did say something.
No, you didn't. You just said I have a strong feeling that and then just didn't say anything.
Okay, well, I have a strong feeling that you will never beat Bloodbath.
Ah! Okay, that's bullying. That's just too far.
No, I don't think so.
I have a strong feeling that your name is not Humphrey Van Vigglebottom III.
What?
Am I
By the
right?
way, I have rigged about 34% of 2 rig 2 points.
Ratio one foot. Ratio.
Rigs 4 should just be like a rigged version of Rigs 1.
Yeah, at what point do we start like? Do we create remakes of like sequels?
That point. For some reason that reminded me of the clip when Castor said that over there was oddly specific.
Oh my god.
What was that? That reminded me of when Castor said, "I will never forget what Ramagon said." That reminds me of when Castor said, "I would rather be torn limb from limb than be banned from competition."
I feel the exact same way, Castor.
I think Castor would rather die than die.
Castor's
Yes.
Castor's the type of person to rather receive $1 trillion than $4.
It's so weird.
Okay, but like Askers?
It's Castor.
No, I'm pretty sure one of the Askers was 1'4", actually.
I gotta go in a second.
Riggs!
Bye.
Castor, did you say hi?
No, I said bye.
No, you said hi.
I said bye.
You said hi.
This is actually a Cuphead moment.
This is actually a Castor moment.
I'll be able to watch your stream in like an hour. Won't be able to join VSC though.
Yay!
Assuming you're still streaming in an hour.
I'd like to witness the joining us.
Right, Castor.
Knowing one foot, they probably won't be.
Me?
Wait, no!
No, knowing 1 foot, Cuphead new probably won't be straight.
No, I mean, knowing Cuphead, they probably won't be. Damn it.
Without objection, the chair recognizes.
Oh my god, this is a Castor moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Realistically, everything can be a Castor moment.
Presented the testimony of former Attorney General Bill Barr, who testified.
Like, if you think about it, everything can be a Castor moment if I put my mind to it.
Blah, 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 blah. Wah, wah,
agree.
Alright, let's see how far I've rigged in 2 rigs. Should I make an extension? Or like have something after the
Yes.
thing? How much?
No, have part of ultimate phase.
I don't really want to do that.
Sure you do. Just be like,
When we
It's like
received
Caster.
specific incredible allegations of
Did you say good luck, Caster?
I said that sounds like Casper. Also, what if there wasn't a save? What if there was, you know how there's a save? What if there was also just a play button
There was
with
an
a
avalanche
save?
of all these allegations of fraud that built up over a number of days, and it was like playing whack-a-mole because
Bye.
something would come out one day and then the next day would be another issue. Also, I was influenced by the fact that all the early claims that I
Caster.
were
What?
bogus.
What's number 1 on the demon list?
Complete misinformation.
Abyss of Darkness.
So I didn't consider
No.
the quality of claims right out of the box to give me any,
Prove it.
feeling
It's
that there was really substance.
XN.
For the first time since the election, the attorney
No, I'm pretty sure it's Riggs.
Oh my god. Caster, you are the type of person to think Riggs is number 1 on the demon list.
So on November 23rd, I hadn't spoken to the president since the election, and in fact, as I said, since the middle of October, roughly. And it was a little getting awkward because obviously he had lost the election, and I hadn't said anything to him. And so,
Oh, also, Cuphead, I've been meaning to ask you about this for a while. So in your Riggs title, right, you have top 3 in JDL. What the hell does that mean?
QCon joke demon list.
And this is leading up to this conversation with
Okay.
Commissioner Kyle. The president said there had been major fraud, and that as soon as the facts were out, the results of the election would be reversed.
Remember, like, cognition is obese and all
For quite a
that.
while, as he's prone to do. And
Yep.
then he got to something that I was expecting, which is to say that apparently the Department of Justice doesn't think that it has a role of looking into these fraud claims. And I said, that has to be the campaign that raises that with the state. The department
Oh, and one more thing, not to
decides
exceed.
the elections, and the department is not an extension of
Caster, you seem like the type of person who'd write owen1morething.txt.
to investigate fraud, and if we'll look at something
Okay, but like afters?
specific
QCon.
that affected the outcome of the election.
No, wait, you know, it would be really funny.
What?
They're just not meritorious.
As if I just edited oh and one more thing.txt it just to spam ratio like all over it.
Social media.
What?
And so I thought it was a reasonable guy and believed it.
If I took oh and one more thing.txt, deleted all of the like stuff that QCon put, and just spam the word ratio.
Where's this gonna go?
Caster,
sent it
you
to
could
QCon.
also achieve that by making a new text document and spamming ratio.
Put up with me and said,
And just name it oh and one more thing.txt too.
What?
I think that he's becoming more realistic and knows that the limit how far he can take this. And then Jared said, yeah, we're working on this. We're working on it.
A lot of caster moments there have been in this one stream.
What? Caster, you're the type of person to like.
I felt that things continued to deteriorate.
Yeah.
And the weekend of the 29th. And then on November 29th, you appeared on Maria Bartiromo's show, Sunday Futures, I believe.
Caster, you're like really suspicious.
Was missing in action.
Your mic is like constantly cutting out. Were you like constantly deafening or something?
No. I mean, like, yeah, but like, no.
Oh, well, ratio.
Castro, you're like really rigged.
Alright, I got one for you.
there was no evidence of election fraud. Immediately after, Attorney General Barr's
What?
statement went public. Mr. Trump regretted any year required. But Barr
What?
persisted
Caster, your mic cut out hard.
there was no evidence to support.
No, it's because I was constantly muting.
That's false.
It was time for me to say something, so I had
Okay, but like, ask
set
him.
up a lunch with
John.
people to order Mike Balsamo, and I
Ratio.
told him at lunch, made the statement.
Actually, there were so many askers that you just like drowned in askers.
A different outcome in the election. I had a later meeting scheduled at the White House at 3 o'clock with Meadows. This was previously scheduled.
Abed, what are your thoughts on Cursed Corridor?
And I told my secretary that I thought I would probably be fired and told not to
It's not real.
go home. I mean, not to go back to my office.
You're not
so they
real.
might have to pack up for me.
You're less
And
real.
so when I got over there, I met with the chief of
What if it's
staff.
even less
He was
real?
angry.
That's debatable.
He didn't really go get
Bloodbath's not real.
That's
And then I went
actually
up to
debatable.
Pat Cipolloni's office and we were talking with each other. And the word came down that he
Dude,
wanted us to-
I don't understand. I don't think I've ever played worse in my entire life. Like, I'm playing so badly.
President said, "This is-
Well, I mean, there is the ultimate
Say
phase.
this, you must have said this because you hate Trump. You hate
No, like, I haven't
Then he
played.
raised
What?
the
No, Caster.
big vote dump,
What? What do you mean the ultimate? No, I mean like I haven't ever played
boxes coming into the county
like
station
worse.
4
Like I
hours
haven't
and
played.
so forth. And I explained to him
Caster, what does that even mean?
exact number of precincts in Detroit. I think it was 630.
That's for me to know and for you to figure out.
There are 630 precincts in Detroit.
What?
Elsewhere in the state, they centralized.
Caster, you realize I mean like I haven't played
counted in each precinct and
less good. Like I'm playing really badly.
the normal process would involve boxes coming in at all different
Sounds like a
hours.
skill issue.
And I said, did anyone point out to you that all the people...
Okay, Caster, this is actually a Caster moment right now.
You did last time. I
No.
Because you didn't understand what I meant. I said something.
like a 1,000-page essay explaining how this is a Caster moment.
No, give me a 1,000-page essay on how this is a Caster moment.
No, you give me a 1,000.
Caster, you're the one saying it's not a Caster moment. So you have to be the one that's... Yeah.
Alright, you're a 100-page essay if you write me one first.
No!
Well then you're never getting that 1,000-page essay.
Okay, fine. I'll write a 1-page essay, and then you have to write a 100-page essay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, here, how about this? You write a 5-page essay and I'll write like a 1-word, sentence.
What? No!
Seems fair.
It's not.
Well, to be fair, we've proven that you are ratio, so...
You're even more ratio. You're like exponentially
You
slaughterhouse.
yourself have confirmed that you are ratio.
Okay,
No.
so the very next day,
I have proof of it. Check clips.
rehashing some of the very same claims that his
Check
chief
clips channel.
law enforcement officer had told him, quote,
I'm gonna lie, but, the competitor's like ratio.
Example, this is Michigan. At 6:31 in the morning.
I respectfully agree. No, you can't just cut it off.
Yeah, I can.
772. Oh, it's getting unexpected. You were winning by a lot. That batch was received.
That's no
Also,
proof.
that
I
title
go
doesn't make any
downstairs
sense.
and
Cuphead is ratio, but confirmed by Cuphead the... What? Cuphead is ratio confirmed, but Cuphead themselves. What does that mean?
And the vote
I said,
goes to Biden.
I put by.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you did. Okay, I'm literally gonna read it word for word. Cuphead is ratio confirmed, but Cuphead themselves.
Wait, what? Oh my god, that actually is what it says. Wait, what? I swear I put by. Whatever, it makes it funnier.
All it does is makes it, like, caster.
I'm pretty sure all it does actually is just make Cuphead even more ratio. Well, food, should I go downstairs and see what's being made?
Yeah.
The report means that I'm going
Okay,
to have
BRB.
sent a term, and then he gave me a copy of the report, and as he talked more and more about it, I sat there flipping through the report and looking through it, and to be frank, it looked very amateurish to me. Didn't have the credentials of the people involved. I didn't see any real qualifications, and the statements were made very conclusory, like, these machines were designed to, engage in fraud or something to that effect, but I didn't see any supporting information for it. And I was somewhat demoralized because I thought, boy, if he really believes this stuff, he has, lost contact with he's become detached from reality if he really believes this stuff. On the other hand, when I went into this and would tell them how crazy some of these allegations were, there was never an indication of interest in what the actual facts were. My opinion then and my opinion now is that the election was not stolen by fraud. And I haven't seen anything since the election that changed my mind on that, including the 2000 Mules movie.
Well, maybe you can assess that 2000 people are talking about that.
Well, I mean, just in a nutshell, I just think the GBI was unimpressed with it, and I was similarly unimpressed with it because I think I was holding my fire on that to see what the photographic evidence was, because I thought, well, hell, if they have a lot of photographs of the same person dumping a lot of ballots in different boxes, that's hard to explain. So I wanted to see what the photographic evidence was, but the cell phone data is singularly unimpressive. I mean, basically, if you take 2 million cell phones and figure out where they are physically in a big city like Atlanta or wherever, just by definition, you're going to find many hundreds of them have passed by and spent time in the vicinity of these boxes. And the premise that if you go by a box, 5 boxes or whatever it was, that that's a mule was just indefensible. It by definition, you're going to have hundreds of this. I mean, I saw one contractor said, we figured out that our truck alone would account for 6 cell phone signals. This was a contractor, and our route would take us by these things on a regular basis. So but then when the movie came out, I think the photographic evidence in it was completely lacking. I mean, there was a little bit of it, but it was lacking. It didn't establish widespread illegal harvesting. The other thing is people don't understand is that it's not clear that even if you can show harvesting, that changes the results of the election. I mean, the courts are not going to throw out votes and then figure out what votes were harvested and it's still the burden on the challenging party to show that illegal votes were cast. Votes were the result of undue influence or bribes or there was really, the person was non-compos mentis. But absent that evidence, I just didn't see courts throwing out votes anyway. I felt that before the election, it was possible to talk sense to the president. And while we sometimes had to engage in a wrestling match with him, that it was possible to keep things on track. But
felt that after the election, he didn't seem to be listening. I didn't think it was, that I was inclined not to stay around if he wasn't listening to advice from me or his other cabinet secretaries.
So on December 14th, Mark quit. Now, the attorney
Holy shit!
told the president that his claims were false. Other officials, close advisors, told him the same.
Other than try to just counterfactual saying your words where the president would say, people are telling me this, I heard this, or I saw on television, you know, this impropriety and that Pennsylvania or something. We were in a position to say, people are looking at that and you know that you're getting bad information, that's not correct.
What the fuck? Why am I so garbage?
The group, president included, that none of those allegations have been substantiated to the point where they could be the basis for any litigation challenge to the election.
President Trump's own vice president and his top advisors also knew that there wasn't evidence to support the claims the president was making.
Anyone else on the matter to ask you about status outside of your legal group, Mr. Morgan and originally? Anyone else who asked you the status of what you were finding in your assessment?
Yes, sir.
Who's that?
Even Navarro.
When did you talk to Mr. Navarro?
Mid-November.
Around the same time as Mr. Mehta?
Yes, sir.
And tell me about that conversation.
Oh my god!
I recall him asking me questions about
I currently have a pizza waiting to be eaten.
No you don't, Caster.
other categories of
Proof?
allegations of voter fraud.
Here's an audio clip of you saying you don't have a pizza.
I didn't believe in
Hi, I'm Caster. I don't have a pizza waiting to be eaten. It is currently the time that this audio clip is being played back.
issues with the technology problem and with Dominion flipping votes.
Okay, but you forgot one thing to add to that audio clip.
The CISA, Chris Kratz, had recently released
What?
a report saying that the election
How
was
I knew this ratio.
and I believe Mr.
I'm not.
Navarro accused me of being an agent of the deep state
Anymore.
working with Chris Kratz against the president.
Proof?
Alright, have a genuine question. Who is more ratio? Me or Rambo?
Ramadan.
With inquiring about what you were finding in your review of the allegations that were pouring in.
I believe I had about a 15-second conversation with the vice president about it as well.
What was that?
During one of the visits to the White House, I don't know which one, I think it was the first one in November, I had met him briefly at the campaign. He remembered me and saw me, and he asked what I was doing on the campaign, and I told him that, we were looking into some of the issues related to voter fraud. And he asked me, I don't remember his exact words, but he asked me if...
Why am I don't understand. I just can't play today. I don't understand.
You and I can't play. You and the Cuphead is new.
He thanked me. That was our interaction.
At a later hearing, we'll hear live testimony from former acting Deputy Attorney General of the Department of Justice.
And then I went into forensics, and from Michigan, report about 68% error rate. Reality is only 0.003% error rate, less than 1 in 15,000. So the president accepted that. He said, okay, fine, what about the others? Again, this gets back to the point that there's so many allegations that when you gave him a very direct answer on one of them, he wasn't fired. So then I talked about a little bit about the Pennsylvania truck drivers, another allegation that had come up. And this claim was by a truck driver who believed, perhaps honestly, that he had transported an entire tractor trailer across the border from New York to Pennsylvania. And this was again out there in the public discussed. And I said, look, we looked at that allegation.
Alright, Copen, I have a challenge for you.
What?
If you make a wave challenge and verify it, I will try and beat it.
Again, he said, okay. Then he said, no, I didn't mention that one. What about the other? And I said,
Riggs.
okay, well, with regard to Georgia, we looked at the case, we there is no suitcase. The president kept fixating on the suitcase, supposedly that part of the ballot, that the suitcase was rolled out from under the table. And I said, no, sir, there is no suitcase. You can watch that video.
We are you.
I'm not gonna lie, I need to beat Challenge Caster Rig.
And that's just how it was done. And that's the source. There's nothing suspicious about that at all. I don't know if there was no multiple schemes of the ballot. When part of that allegation was they were taking one ballot, squeezing through it 3 or 4 or 5 times to rack up votes.
Oh my god, I got to the last spam, 91. I got, oh my god. That is actually a sad moment.
People on Native American reservations. He said there's lots of fraud going on here. Put him flat out as much of the information you get is false, or it's not supported by that. We look at the allegations, they don't
Mr. Barr and his advisor were not the only ones who determined
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but one foot is ratio.
voting machines were false. So, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to
Alright, you're wrong.
reports issued by the Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity Infrastructure otherwise known as CISO, that addressed
Why is Caster like have, I don't know, such an impulsive urge to call 1-foot ratio?
Mr. Chairman, I also ask unanimous consent to include
Why is Cuphead a robot?
What?
Election security scientists, noting the absence of any evidence that the 2020 election had been altered, technically compromised. 5 other reports, organizations, individuals, confirming there was no widespread fraud in the 2020 election or a describable spread of pesticides.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Cuphead, is the level race thing we did gonna be a video?
Huh?
Is the level race thing we did gonna be a video?
I don't know, probably not.
Why not? No, you did one with 1 foot.
Well, yeah, but like also you don't really have like, I don't know. Let's just put it this way. 1 foot is less rigs.
That's up for debate. That is quite debatable.
I think at some point I'm gonna make exposing Wildred, but like don't tell him because it's gonna be a surprise.
What are you gonna expose him on?
Like Aki or something.
No, dude, rupture.
Why?
Because rupture.
Caster, you have a rupture in your brain because your brain intrigues.
Well, okay, but like Aspers?
DJ DVD 17.
What?
That's the creator of Plevel by DJ DVD 17.
What is Plevel?
It's Plevel. Caster, did you know that Nepesta is Nepesta? Caster, did you see the video called Nepesta Learns a New Letter?
Oh.
Huh?
No, I still gotta watch it.
It's really funny. Watch it now or die.
Well, considering your sense of humor, I don't think I want to.
Section 5C8 of House Resolution 5020. I now recognize a gentlewoman from California.
Caster, I sent it to you because it matches your sense of humor.
I don't like how. You know?
You haven't even seen the video.
You tell it's like ratio.
Let's see what it is, man.
What is this? Howdy peoples. What is this? Cuphead, why do you have a level on your account called Howdy Peoples?
Oh, Caster, the history of Howdy Peoples is very extensive. I don't have time to explain
Alright, I
all
got
of
time. Explain or rig?
So, all the way back when me and 1 foot were wee little children, we rode the bus together after school, and we decided to make a collab called Howdy Peoples. And then I made my part, and then 1 foot made a part, and then some other kid made a part, and then we like took turns until it was a full level. And then in like 2020 or like 2021 or something, I decided to make Howdy People's Redux.
Okay.
How was 2022 like almost over?
Over and it starts to...
How was 2023 like almost over?
How was like the world almost over?
Okay, in the span of things, in the span of how long the universe has been around, like the year 3000 is almost over.
Hey, you know that's all cool, but like Aspers?
Me.
One that's not you.
Me.
Someone that's not me.
Me.
Someone that is me.
Me.
Someone that's not Rishi.
Me.
What do you find when your office conducted its own
Love it.
investigation?
Me.
We found that the suitcase was full of ballots, alleged black suitcase that was being seen pulled from under the table. Actually, an official lockbox.
Here's an audio clip of Castor. Me.
Found out that there was a mistake in terms of his misunderstanding that there was
Yeah.
counting ballots tonight. The partisan watchers that was assigned by each of the respective parties were announced as their home. Once they realized the mistake, someone from the Secretary of State's office indicated, no, we're not done for tonight. We need to go ahead and continue counting. So once they pack up these lockboxes for the
Oh, I don't understand why I just can't do Bloodbath. I don't know. I think today was just not my day.
You're a robot.
I'm not a robot. You're a robot.
But in actuality, in review of the entire video, we showed that that was actually an official ballot box that was kept underneath the table. And then they saw them pack up because the announcement that they got was and then once the
Just I'll be right back. Anywhere between like 20 minutes and an hour.
Irregular happened in the county, and the allegations made by Giuliani were.
Thank you very much. I'd like to play again testimony from Mr. Donahue here
Mr. Donahue, you talked so much about whether or not the White House president was from the report. On the results of the investigation Gary just got on Fulton County, would those results have been communicated to the White House perspective?
I don't know how they were initially communicated. I do know that they came up in subsequent conversations with the president, and Dad Rose and I essentially told him we looked into that, and it's just not true.
Okay, but he wasn't informed.
I told the president myself that several times, in several conversations, that these allegations about ballots being smuggled in a suitcase and run through machines several times was not true. That we looked at the video, and we knew what the situation was.
Mr. Pack, after you left the U.S. Attorney's Office on January 4th, 2021, did the next U.S. Attorney there, Mr. Trump's personal pick, Bobby Christine, did he investigate any remaining claims of fraud? And if so, did he find any evidence that supported the president's claims of voter fraud?
It is my understanding that the investigation was by the partner, he was unable to find any evidence of fraud that the election.
So after investigating the president's and Mr. Giuliani's claims about voter fraud in Georgia, is it your view today that there was no evidence of widespread fraud sufficient to undermine confidence in the outcome of the election? Thank you, Mr. Pack, and I want to thank you also for the service you did to our country. Next, I'd like to turn to President Trump's false allegations about election integrity in Philadelphia. The Attorney General discussed these allegations in
You know, the idea, the president has repeatedly suggested that there was some kind of outpouring of unexpected votes in inner city areas like Philadelphia as recently as January 13th when he walked off the NPR set. He was asked by the interviewer, what's your evidence of fraud? And he said more people voted in Philadelphia than there were voters. And that was absolutely rubbish. The turnout in Philadelphia was in line with the state's turnout, and in fact, it was not as impressive as many suburban counties. And there was nothing at the Philadelphia turnout. It wasn't like there was all these unexpected votes that came out in Philadelphia. So, I think once you actually look at the votes, and then there's an obvious explanation. For example, in Pennsylvania, Trump ran weaker than the Republican ticket generally. He ran weaker than two of the state candidates. He ran weaker than the congressional delegation running for federal Congress, and he ran weaker than the Republican, I think. I haven't looked at this recently, but he generally was a weak element on the Republican ticket, so that does not suggest that the election was stolen by Floyd.
How about Pennsylvania? Bill explain, Philadelphia had an election discrepancy between the number of absentee ballots issued and the number of ballots.
Right. So that was one of the big ones for a period of time. I think that was raised at Gettysburg by Giuliani or something like that. But it kept on being repeated, and I found it annoying because I didn't say that it was right. So I called McSwain, and he got back to me and said, no, the problem is that Giuliani threw out this number, and what he did was he mixed apples and oranges. He took the number of applications for the Republican primary and he compared it to the number of absentee votes cast in the general election. But once you actually go and look and compare apples to apples, there's no discrepancy. And, that's going to be, I think at some point I covered that with the president.
We have another witness here today who has detailed knowledge about the election process in Philadelphia. Mr. Schmidt, at the time of the 2020 presidential election, you were serving as the only Republican member of Philadelphia's three-member city commission, which is responsible for overseeing elections throughout the city. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So President Trump made numerous claims regarding fraudulent voting practices in Philadelphia, including the claim that dead people were voting. In fact, Mr. Jimmy told Pennsylvania state legislators that 8,000 dead people voted in Pennsylvania. You investigated those claims of voter fraud. Can you tell us about that?
Not only was there not evidence of 8,000 dead voters voting in Pennsylvania, there was evidence. We took seriously every case that was referred to us, and no matter how fantastical, no matter how absurd, every one of them seriously.
As it turns out, even Mr. Trump's campaign lawyers agree that the dead voter claims were valid.
I guess the crooks in Philadelphia are disappointed in this. We always said there are 8,021 ballots from dead people, mail-in ballots from dead people. Probably easier for dead people to submit mail-in ballots than it is for voting personally.
Rudy was at this stage of his life the same ability to manage things at this level. And obviously, I think Bernie Kevin publicly said it. They never proved the allegations that they were making. They were trying to sell.
Mr. Schmidt, on November 11, 2020, President Trump tweeted about you, saying in his quote, "The guy named Al Schmidt, Philadelphia commissioner and so-called Republican for Rhino, is being used big time by the fake news media to explain how honest things were with respect to the election. He refuses to look at a mountain of corruption, dishonesty, as a result of that and the CNN interview you did where you stated the dead voter claims in Pennsylvania were false. You and your staff were subjected to disturbing threats. Can you tell us about that?
Threats prior to that, on some level, it feels almost silly to talk about it. But we can really see the impact that they have. Because prior to that, the threats were pretty general in nature. Corrupt election officials in Philadelphia are going to get what's coming to them. War with the Second Amendment, walking into the lion's den, all sorts of things like that. After the president tweeted at by calling me out the way that he did, the threats became much more specific.
I'm back.
No, you're not.
Oh. Okay.
Mr. Schmidt, I think I speak for all of my colleagues when I say you are deeply sorry for what you and your loved ones experienced. I also want to thank you for your service to your country.
Dude,
I want to thank both Mr. Patton and Mr. Schmidt for their service, their testimony, and for standing up for the rule of law. Now I'd like to turn to another subject. Courts in our country provide a legitimate venue for campaigns to challenge maybe as irregular election practices. Courts have the final say in how the law applies to those challenges. We have a dynamic legal expert here to address the Trump campaign's activities. Mr. Ginsburg, you've spent your entire career representing Republicans in election-related litigation. You served as the National Counsel on Republican presidential campaigns in 2000, 2004, and 2012. You played a key role in the 2004 recount, which led to the Supreme Court's decision in Bush v. Gore. You served as the co-chair of the Presidential Commission on Election Administration. I think it's fair to say you were the most prominent Republican lawyer who's litigated the election. Now you've analyzed the Trump campaign's litigation pretty carefully. What's the normal process post-election litigation? How is the Trump campaign different from the kinds of post-election litigation you've been involved in and know about?
Ben, should I make a level with the Spectrum Cyclone song?
Sure.
Okay, you're verifying it.
Caster, I like how before you said you were like complaining about not having a verification, and then like every level you make, you set me to verify.
Yeah.
Caster, why don't you just make a level and verify it yourself if you want a verification so bad?
Well, here's the thing. I have a skill issue.
Sounds like a severe issue in your skill.
I still learned a new letter. Yep, I've seen that.
You said you didn't, Caster!
Because I forgot that I like did.
It's funny though, right?
Wait, isn't that just his frickin' what is it? What is it? Frickin' thing.
Keynote's reaction? No, Caster, what are you thinking?
Are you aware of any instance in which a court found that
No, I was thinking that damn it, what is that? Isn't that his reaction to getting Zodiac for 100 on the Demon Roulette?
Yeah, but like Askers?
The Select Committee has
me.
identified 62 post-election
me.
lawsuits filed by the Trump
Me.
campaign and his allies
Me.
between November
Me.
2020
Me.
Those cases
Me.
61 losses, and only a single victory
Me.
which actually didn't affect the outcome.
Let me think about that. Oh yeah, me.
Despite those 61 losses, as a result, they never had their what do you say about the claims that Mr. Trump wasn't given an opportunity to provide the evidence they had?
How do I say this? Let me take a minute to think about this. Me.
I mean,
Me.
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 Me 0.1415926 me.
Me times pi. Squared. Me.
Black Lizard.
Ratio.
Zodiac.
The ultimate phase.
Me.
Me.
You.
As Mr. Ginsburg has explained, there are no cases where the Trump campaign was able to convince a court that there was widespread fraud or irregularities in the 2020 election. Over and over, judges, appointed by Democrats and Republicans alike, directly refuted this false narrative. They called out the Trump campaign's lack of evidence for its claims. The judges did that even in cases where they could have simply thrown out the lawsuit without writing a word. You can see behind me the decisions in these 62 cases. The Trump campaign's lack of evidence was criticized by judges across the political spectrum. In Pennsylvania, a Trump-appointed judge concluded, quote, charges require specific allegations and proof. We have neither here. Another Trump-appointed judge warned that if cases like these succeeded, quote, any disappointed loser in the presidential election able to hire a team of clever lawyers could flag claim deviations from election results and cast doubt on election results. Well, this goes on and on. Allegations are called, quote, an amalgamation of theories, conjecture, and speculation. In another, strained legal arguments without merit, unsupported by evidence, derived from wholly unreliable sources, a fundamental
Me.
and obvious misreading of the Constitution. The rejection of President Trump's litigation efforts was overwhelming. 22 federal judges.
Alright, combat. This might be slightly controversial, but, me.
Okay, this might be slightly controversial, but Stereo Madness is harder than Zodiac.
At least 11 lawyers have been referred for disciplinary proceedings due to bad faith and baseless efforts to undermine the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Rudy Giuliani had his license to practice law suspended in New York. And just this week, a newly filed complaint may potentially make his suspension from practicing law in D.C. permanent. And as we've just heard from perhaps the most preeminent Republican election lawyer in recent history, the Trump campaign's unprecedented effort.
Tartarus is now out of the top 5 is, like, scary.
The fact that you are now out of the top 5 is scarier.
U.S. District Court Judge
And the fact that Kinos is scary.
This was, quote, a coup in search of a legal hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
I want to thank our witnesses for joining us today. The members of the Select Committee may have additional questions for today's witnesses, and we ask that you respond expeditiously in writing to those questions. Without objection, members will be permitted.
Fun fact, if all the levels that were once above Tartarus on the demon list were currently above Tartarus on the demon list, Tartarus would be number 9.
The second panel of witnesses is now dismissed.
Did you ever think about that? It's Caster 14.
Me.
Without objection, the chair recognizes Gentlewoman California Slothford for closing statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now that we understand the litigation efforts by President Trump and his allies, I'd like to present additional actions taken by the Trump campaign during this time. President Trump continued to push the stolen election narrative, even though he and his allies knew that their litigation efforts, making the same claim, had failed. It's worth pointing out that litigation generally does not continue past the safe harbor date of December 14th. But the fact that this
Caster.
that decision makes more sense when you consider the Trump campaign's fundraising patterns. Because if the litigation had stopped on December 14th, there would have been
Caster.
and no clear path to
What?
raise millions of dollars.
What do you mean,
Mr. Chairman,
what?
at this time, I'd ask
You
that
said
the
caster.
video
Rigs.
presentation describing how President Trump
Well, ratio.
raised millions
You are the most rigs person I've ever seen.
fundraising schemes were also
I'm the most what person you've ever seen?
I said rigs.
Without objection.
Your mic literally cut out when you said that you are the most. All I heard was you are the most blank person I've ever seen. Like, there was
How did you
nothing
hear
in
me
here.
say blank? I said
No, I said frickin' here's what I heard. You are the most person I've ever seen.
I said you are the most rigs person I've ever seen.
You cut out again.
No, I didn't.
I literally heard you say you are the most person I've ever seen.
Caster, you are so rigs.
You are actually like deafening or something.
Well, I'm not deafening, Caster. You're just rigs.
It's constantly cutting out. I'm not kidding.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine. I'll say it one more time. You are the most rigs person I have ever seen.
Oh my god, Ken.
Caster, you're trolling me.
I'm not trolling, I swear to God.
I said you are the most rigs person I've ever seen.
There, now it finally came through.
I think you're trolling me, Caster.
I wish I had one foot here to back me up.
I think 1 foot is rigs.
I'm gonna tell one foot you said that.
I'm gonna tell Caster that, wait, wait a minute. Me.
Me.
All of us here today.
We are you!
No, I'm pretty sure you mean, me.
Me are you?
Telling supporters it could be used to fight voter fraud and analysis. Emails continued through January 6th, even as President Trump spoke on it. 30 minutes after the last fundraising email was sent, the Capitol was raided.
Every American is entitled and encouraged to participate in our electoral process. Political fundraising is part of that. Small dollar donors use scarce disposable income to support candidates and causes of their choosing to make their voices heard. Those donors deserve the truth.
That was Caster's fault.
Throughout the committee's investigation, we found evidence that the Trump campaign and its surrogates misled donors as to where their funds would go and what they would use. Not only was there a big fraud word better than what President Trump did this week. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Castor is like one of the most rigs people ever like to exist.
People like Askers?
Jason.
No fuck. Who the fuck is Jason?
I don't know, I just thought of the first like name I could think of.
Ratio.
Hey, at least I've beaten an extreme demon.
Ratio.
I think the ultimate like flex would be to beat every extreme demon. Castor, who do you think will be the first person to beat every extreme demon in the game?
Me.
No.
At the conclusion of last week's hearing, we showed you a video of rioters was explaining why they had come to Washington on January 6th. It was because Donald Trump told them to be here. Today we heard about some of the lies Donald Trump embraced and amplified when it became clear he didn't have the numbers of votes to win the election. We heard about how officials at different levels of government explored claims of fraud and found no evidence. Yet the former president continued to repeat those false claims over and over again. Today, we'll end things where we did on Thursday, back on January 6th. Hearing words of individuals who wanted to stop the transfer of power. We know they were there because of Donald Trump. Now we hear some of the things
When Cuphead dies.
without objection.
Even Castor dies.
You went 1 foot.
Me one 1 foot what?
What?
He said me when 1 foot and then cut out.
Me when 1 foot dies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me when 1 foot eats burgers. Me when Castor is unable to beat an extreme demon.
Me when.
I don't want to say that what we're doing is right. But if the election's being stolen, what is it going to take?
The chair requests those in the hearing room remain seated until the Capitol Police have escorted members from the room. Without objection, committee stands adjourned.
Dave, you want to watch Glee?
Yeah, can you not say my name on streaming?
Sorry.
Hello, Simmer
Top 10.
55.
You want to watch?
I said yes.
Gotta go.
No.
Bye.
Caster. It's your hardest. No, my hardest is Black Blizzard. Hey, I made another NC66P22 challenge. No, I'm not doing the lore quests.